welcome to Tech Talk with Excelencia. This series is going to be really interesting for all of us to learn and grow because we are going to interact with brightest minds in this digital age technologies. Today, we are going to start our first episode with Karthikeyan Sundar, who is head of digital practice at Excelencia. So let's welcome Karthikeyan Sundar.
Hi, Vaishnavi.
Hi, Karthik. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very
So,
much for calling me for this conversation. Yeah, thank you very much.
you. So, Karthik, I would like to understand what is your favorite destination?
Favorite destination? Yeah, I would say Brighton in London. I'm Brighton in UK. That's a wonderful place to live. So I would always vouch for Brighton to be my favorite location to live. Yeah,
Wow, that's so beautiful place actually, right?
yeah, it's a wonderful place to live. You're right.
Yeah. So, Karthik, could you give some insights about data? What is data engineering? Why all the organizations across the world are behind data?
All right. Before going into data engineering, Vaishnavi, I think we'll all have to understand what is data all about. We all know that data is some meaningful information that is lying around us in different forms. Yeah, it can be either a structured information or unstructured information. And today's world, which is your videos or your images or your postings that you guys do on Facebook, Insta. Yeah, so these are all different forms of information that is lying around all of us. But how does an organization or an enterprise look at all of this data? Yeah, so all enterprises or organizations in today's world would want to carve out some meaningful information from all of this information that is lying around all of us. Yeah, that's the first. That's how organizations want to look at data. Now, having said that, what is data engineering then? So, data engineering is a way by which we build applications and tools to collect, store, as well as carve out some meaningful information from this data that is saved. So that is what is data in today's world, and that is what is the meaning of data engineering as we speak. Yeah.
So when you say organizations are dealing with numerous amount of data and it is scattered in multiple locations, obviously every organization will face challenges, right? So
Yeah.
how do we overcome those challenges?
All right. Now, before coming on to how these challenges are overcome by organizations, we'll have to understand first of all what are the challenges faced by the organizations. Yeah. So, so what has happened traditionally for the last couple of decades, I would say 3 decades also, where enterprises and organizations have been building applications, uh, uh, collect information and save them. All right. And unfortunately, all of this information or data is fragmented. So let's take an example of an enterprise which has got different departments. It can be your HR, it can be your finance, it can be your manufacturing line of business. All right. So each of these departments would have been collecting information for their respective departments using different tools and saving them locally. Yeah. For example, your HR might have all your employee information on an Excel sheet or probably on Oracle tool. Yeah. And your finance might have their financial data on some other tool, whereas your manufacturing line of business can have their information on SAP tool also. So like I said, the data is all fragmented. Point number one, that's the first challenge. And the second challenge is, since this information is collected using different tools, the integration of data from different tools is a big challenge. All right. For example, if you wanted to integrate the data from Oracle to SAP, it's going to be a humongous task. So that's a second challenge, like integration of data. Now, the third biggest challenge organizations are facing today is, since the tools are different across different stakeholders or different departments, the security measure that is applied across these tools might have been different. All right, it is not unified. So these are some of the challenges that the organizations are facing or have been facing traditionally with respect to data.
So do we have any applications or tools in the market to overcome these challenges?
Yeah, so what has happened is, probably in the end of 2023 or in 24, early part of 24, Microsoft had taken this challenge as a goal and said, all right, let us build a platform that will help us to overcome all of these challenges the enterprises are facing with respect to data. All right, and hence they have built a product called MS Fabrics, which is a SaaS-based platform which will help enterprises to have three business processes of data engineering in a single platform, which is your data ingestion or your data factory, your data warehousing, as well as your data visualization. So all of these three business processes are taken care in a single unified platform by MS Fabrics. So this is how the industry is trying to overcome the challenges that they have been traditionally facing with respect to data.
Wow. That's actually going to be the point of discussion today, Karthik. That's MS Fabrics. So, when you talk about MS Fabrics, there are already so many analytics tools in the market, right? How different MS Fabrics is from these analytics tools already
Like,
existing in the
yeah.
market?
So, like I said, Vaishnavi, so traditionally the data has been collected for different business cases using different tools. Yeah. So, for example, for data ingestion, they might have been different tools used by organization. For data warehousing, there might have been different tools. Like, for example, we have a separate tool for data warehousing, which is like in the likes of your Informatica. You have a separate business process, which is data visualization, which can be a different tool, which is Power BI. So these were different tools which have been used, right? So now the power of Fabrics is that you have all of these business processes under the single umbrella of Microsoft Fabrics, where your data ingestion, your warehousing, as well as your visualization fall under a single unified platform. So that's how the organizations are overcoming this problem.
So, you again
And
mentioned
because
that Power.
by doing this, sorry to
Oh,
interrupt, by doing
no,
this,
no.
since traditionally they were different, so that's how Fabrics is different from the other analytical tools. For example, Informatica is used only for your warehousing. All right,
Okay.
Power BI is used only for your visualization, whereas your Fabrics is a unified system which will be used for three business processes, which is your ingestion, your warehousing, as well as your visualization. So that's how it is differentiating itself from the other analytical tools that you have in the market.
So, you just told me, like, we use Power BI for visualization. So, is MS Fabric same and works similar as Power BI?
While MS Fabrics and Power BI falls under the same umbrella of Microsoft, they are used for different purposes. Here, like for example, Power BI is specific for visualization, whereas Fabrics is for the three processes of data, yeah, which is your ingestion, your warehousing, as well as your visualization. So, in fact, Power BI is also part of Fabrics in now in the latest version of O365. So that's
Oh,
how it's working.
okay, that's so nice. I mean, I just want to understand little more features about MS Fabrics.
All right. So how does MS Fabric works? That's a different concept that Microsoft has brought into this platform. I would rather say. So they have brought in a concept called One Lake, which is a single source of truth for all the data. For example, let's take the example of the enterprise that we're talking about, which has got a HR, which has got a finance, and which has got which has also got a manufacturing line of business. All right. So all of this data from these three different departments will be pumped into a single source of truth, which is going to be your One Lake. Yeah. And from there, your processing of data starts, which can be your warehousing, or it can also be used for your visualization. So One Lake forms the single source of truth for data on which your processing as well as your visualization will happen. All right.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
how that's one of the key features. So One Lake is it's something similar to your OneDrive. Now OneDrive is a single source of truth for your files and folders. Similarly, One Lake is a single source of truth for all data from different sources on top of which your other processing of information happens, which can be your warehousing or can be your visualization. So that's one of the feature of which is very powerful for Microsoft Fabrics. And of course, there are other features like your data engineering, your data factory, your data warehousing, your data visualization. So all of these is under the single umbrella of Fabrics, which are the features of Fabrics also.
Oh, okay, okay. So, lastly, I would also keen to know who are all the resources that will be benefited by
Right.
MS Fabrics.
Right. Any user in the organization who's playing around with the data, or
Mm.
who works on a lot of information, is benefited by the power of fabrics. It can be your HR, it can be your BI users, it can be your senior leadership of an organization who looks at all of these dashboards. It can be your data scientists, your data analysts. So these are some of the users who are benefited by the power of uh, fabrics.
Wow, that's so nice to understand about MS Fabrics. Thank you so much, Karthik, for giving very good information and insights on MS Fabrics. For sure, MS Fabrics is going to play a crucial role, in upcoming future. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us today, and stay tuned for more insightful conversations right here on Tech Talk with Excellencia.